Hi everyone, this is Ankur. I could not be there with you, for this big day, but I'm sure that you're in good pair of hands. I'm sure that you're looking at this video in presence of Amit. He's been a great mentor for me as well, and I'm sure that in his guidance you're going to definitely clear your level one that you're expected to take in a week's time. So, this is a very small 5 minute kind of a session that I have prepared, and the idea was really to tell you about the basic do's and don'ts, and but over and above that, what are the things that you have to really take care in the weeks to come. So I've prepared like a small diagram here, and it talks about how your forthcoming week should be. So if let's say you're taking your the exam, whatever mock exam that you want to take on this, let's say, Sunday. So you're sitting here, so you essentially have today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So out of 5 days, the last 3 days should totally be left for final revision. Now, this, beat anything of the world, what you have to understand is what you have been left till now. So you really don't have to pick it up in the last 3 days. I mean, it has been left, so just leave it now, right now. On Monday and Tuesday, what you'll do will depend upon your review that will happen tonight, or maybe let's say early part of tomorrow. So your mock exam is going to throw up certain weak areas for you, so those weak areas should be taken care over Monday and Tuesday. And let's say if you're using Wiley, or you're using Schwezzers, or you're using your core books, or your whatever is the notes that you're using, you should study and strengthen your concepts here. So these 2 days is essentially to improve your success rate, and thereafter I mean, no exam practice exam. So this is really the last time that you're taking your exam. Okay, what is very critical is the second point, and this is where a lot of softer aspect comes into picture. On the exam day, see, it's a human body that you are taking as an asset for yourself. So if let's say you have the habit of feeling hungry and having your lunch at 12 noon, then obviously on Saturday also, the D day, you're going to feel the same. But your exam is, let's say, from 9 to 12, the morning session, and so basically you'll not be able to have food before 1 p.m. So all I'm trying to basically say is that you should maintain the same routine for the entire week in terms of the time of getting up, trying to go to the bed, having food, getting a quick power nap, exactly in a similar lines that you will face on the exam day. So if let's say you have to get up at 6 a.m. to reach the exam center at sharp at 8 a.m., then obviously on all 4 days that you have to follow in the same routine. Okay, so just be careful about that. Now, in terms of the exam strategy, I mean, what are you going to do in the exam as such? You have to be very careful that you have to go with a planned approach. What I mean by planned approach is that out of the 10 modules that you have, which we call as subjects, you have to divide them into your strong areas, your weak areas, and neutral areas. Please make sure that you don't take up your weak areas in the last hour. H3 is what I would call it, because you're anyways weak here. So, and in the last hour, there's always a sense of urgency cropping up. So I would suggest that weak areas should be taken up in the second half. Some of the strong areas should be divided between first half and the third half, because you got to always start with the strong area. Neutral areas could be equally divided. Now here, just a quick point: ethics is in particularly is a very different subject. I mean, you have to really pass on judgment, so your mind has to be at peace and all that stuff. It is best done in the second half. Okay, in first half you are too soon for ethics, and in third half, the third hour, you are too late for ethics. So I think second hour is something that you should utilize both in the morning and the afternoon session for the purpose of ethics. For all other 9 subjects, I think this this kind of a strategy works very well. But you have to also understand it, CFA is one of its kind that you haven't maybe not taken so far in your life. Let's say I was a BCom graduate, or let's say a chartered accountant before I took up CFA, and even in my CA I used to have one exam a day back to back. But on a particular day, let's say I am having an exam of let's say economics, so I will get one full day to prepare myself mentally. It's like the mental conditioning before the exam. But here all 10 subjects are being tested together. So what it means is that you really will have to make a very quick shift of the mind. So let's say in 15 minutes you are looking at eco, which is very different ball game, compared to immediately the next few minutes you will be looking at fixed income, very different. Then let's say FRA, in let's say and the next 10 minutes you are going to look at equity. So all four subjects are very different from each other, but at the same time you got to answer it together in one particular hour. For example, let's say the second hour. So this is like a very quick mental shift that what you require. So it really changes your gear very quickly. Another important aspect about this pattern of exam is that you have 3 hours exam into 2 times. So the second exam is where your stamina and perseverance gets tested. Morning exam, everyone is prepared for it. You are mentally conditioned to take the exam starting 9 a.m. but you are not so much mentally conditioned to take the exam at 2 p.m. on the same day again. So this is where a lot of people face a lot of problem, that they feel that second half is not so important, which is obviously not the case. Another important aspect that I would like to highlight is that you don't get into the ego issue with any particular question. That sometimes happens where you're very sure about a concept and you're very confident about it, or uska question we are unable to do. Now the problem that happens is that that's okay. I mean might be there is an issue with the question, so we are not making a personal comment against you if you are unable to do that. I mean that's okay, just leave it and move forward. You are running against precious time. Let's not really get into the fight with the question. Okay, be very objective. No ego issues with any kind of a module or a question or a topic or a formula. The last thing on the slide basically is very important, that your morning performance, sometimes it is possible that is very good and you get into the overconfidence. That is also wrong. Sometimes it is not so good and therefore you really give up in the afternoon session. This is a very common mistake. You got to avoid both of them anyhow. I really don't care. You should absolutely be poker faced. I mean whatever happened in the previous deal should not affect your next deal, is what the formula of a stock market is all about. Okay, so please take care of that. Some of the easier things that you have to remember in any case is that you have to sleep tight, 6 to 8 hours depending on your sleep cycle, a night before the exam. I really don't like people who think that by working all night the previous night is a good strategy. I really don't think so. That's a great idea for an exam called as CFA, because your mind is the biggest asset for those 3 into 6 hours. Okay, you should be like little child like, you should carry a pencil box, although obviously you are like a dude and you don't prefer, and this problem is more with the male candidates, where they don't like to carry like a pencil box like a school kid. But it's okay. I mean for once, no one is observing you and everyone would be doing that, so it's okay. I mean carry 3-4 pencils, HB pencils, pretty good, sharpened, and also carry 2 pens. Just check it. Ensure that your calculator has adequate battery, which obviously just by pressing a couple of buttons and all, and if it conks off, there is 1% chance that your calculator might just run out of battery. So some people who are very conservative buy another calculator, which sometimes I believe it's over conservative. The exam questions are not going to be numerical, so you can easily borrow a calculator from a person sitting aage or piche, and both of you can work with one single calculator. But the most important thing is you don't have to really create an urgency out of it, or you should not kind of create a hyper situation for that. Okay, keep your passport handy the day before, and keep it 2 photostats kept at different places. One may be in your pocket, the other one may be in your bag. Okay, eat full, but do not have very heavy food during the break from 12 to 2, because there is 2 to 5 in an Indian context is a time where most people go to sleep. This is something which is very critical, and I would like to I really loved doing this don'ts here. So the first and very important aspect is that whatever is, let's say, your bio break cycle, try and reduce it, because every time you go out of the room, the proctor there, or let's say the invigilator, will make a note of it. And obviously taking in a 3-hourly thing, maybe 1 break is optimum. If you're, let's say, taking 5 breaks, let's say 3 breaks also every hourly, that's something which is not recommended. This is where an Indian student sometimes gets stuck, and this is more for the afternoon session. You tend, and you're fighting a little bit of sleep and all that stuff, fatigue. You tend to stretch yourself, tilt your neck from one side to the other, and that's where CFA doesn't don't like at all. Okay, you have to really sit straight like a horse cart. You should very clearly and evidently stop writing when the invigilator announces. I mean, so much so you might want to raise your hands. It has to be that clear, because this is a point where a lot of CFA candidates get a show cause notice from the CFA Institute, on like a, it's like a code of ethics. I mean, there's like violated standard number 7, where the conduct during the exam is not correct. So please, don't try and be a greedy and say कि last 10 seconds है एक circle और लगा दें. If time has gone, it has gone. I mean, that's okay. I mean, forget about one circle, your entire paper could be in danger. Okay, so therefore the way to handle it, if let's say papers is about to get over, पेपर के ख़त्म होने से 10 मिनट पहले ही प्लीज़ मार्क ऑल दी सर्कल्स that you have. So 15 minutes remaining for the last this thing. So please don't take the circling of the this thing to the last thing. Always keep 15 minutes in buffer before doing that. Don't write anything on the desk, pencil box, any paper other than the question paper, and please don't keep any paper in your pocket. Please frisk yourself before entering the exam, rather than someone else finding it out. It will be very embarrassing and very difficult for any one of us to kind of protect you later. Okay, so in the end, I would just like to kind of say that you have to keep your morale high. I mean, maybe the exam is difficult, easy, none of us know, but you have to keep your morale high, morning and afternoon, both of them. You got to maintain your focus till the very end. Whatever happens, you got to really, really strike it hard. And the last thing is, just be you. You have done a lot of work. There is no doubt in our mind or your mind or your parents' mind. You really, really have to, be you. You don't have to imitate anyone. You don't have to really be under any pressure. Just be absolutely okay and normal. Okay, so with that, I'm absolutely good to end. Hamid will take over from here, and I'm really, really wishing you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure that all of you are going to do very well. Okay, may the best man win. Thank you very much. All the best.